like to start Mitch?
Mitch, we heard a lot about spin coming into this match. That's what all the talk was about, and then pace dominated on day one. Were you surprised by that?
No, I think we've been bowling quite well as a whole bowling unit. So no surprise, Joshy hit a spot all day again, and was probably unlucky not to take more wickets. So I think we've worked really hard, obviously, for the last few weeks on all our bowling, and Joshy and I obviously got the results today, and we've seen a bit of spin obviously late on today as well.
Mitch, was there a pronounced sort of time frame, 50, 60 overs, where suddenly things started reversing? There was a sort of discussion amongst you, it's going?
Yeah, a little bit. I think Josh obviously started getting a bit of reverse first, and it was going a little bit, and we thought, obviously, if we could hit that rough side a little bit more, hopefully get a bit more reverse, and obviously it did. So I think Joshy bowled really well reverse. I was lucky enough to get a bit of movement, and Mitchy Marsh bowled pretty well with the reversing ball as well. So I think we did that a lot better this game, and I think we looked after the ball, the rough side of the ball, a bit better this game than we did obviously in the first test.
Mitch, so far you haven't really gotten, I guess, that new ball conventional swing as much in these couple of games as you have at times in the past. Talk to us a bit about sort of where you're at with that, and secondly, what you guys worked with Alan in the middle a couple of days ago?
Yeah, well, sometimes it just doesn't swing as much for some guys. For me, I guess it didn't swing too much in the first inning, in the first test, but did enough to obviously create a few chances. Today I was finding a different way to take wickets, and then obviously get that ball reversing. So there'll be days where it swings a lot more and days where it doesn't. But I think Joshy bowled pretty well with the swinging ball early on as well, and then obviously with the reversing ball. With AD, I think for me, I've been working pretty much on that delivery that got Mendes out pretty much with that reversing ball. So pretty pleased that it's come off throughout the tour, and it's something that I've worked with him since being in Colombo, and then obviously through the last couple of weeks as well. So AD's been great, and I think we've all got a lot out of him so far, and hopefully it continues for the rest of this test and the third as well.
Mitch,
the battle with Mendes, how did you sort of see that, and how important was that to keep on?
Yeah, he's obviously a good little player, and knows his game really well, and obviously we saw it in the first test. He backs himself and can be aggressive when he wants to, and I think we just got to change our game plan a little bit from that first test, and he still batted quite well today, but it was nice to get him out before he got the 100 anyway. But yeah, look, that wicket's pretty flat. It's got no pace in it. It's obviously going to take a bit of spin. So I think overall we bowled quite well to all the batsmen today.
Well,
Mitch, obviously the late wicket of day one there, who's come out on top of day one?
Yeah, not great to lose that last wicket. It'd be nice going into stumps, none down to be honest. But yeah, look, it's still a pretty good batting wicket. There's nothing in it for the quicks. Obviously, their spinners will try and get as much out of the wicket as they can. We haven't seen the left arm Chinaman yet. So yeah, look, it's probably a pretty even day. Nice that the Sri Lankans didn't get away from us with the bat, especially the tail, a bit like they did in the first test. But yeah, I think as I said before, we bowled quite well to their whole lineup today, and nice to see Dutchie get his first test wicket. It's always nice to see that. So yeah, I think overall it's a pretty even day.
Mitch, you've made a bit of a habit of getting wickets in the first couple of overs in this series, but have you ever got a wicket before the first ball of the match?
Don't think so in Test cricket. So yeah, I think we spoke a lot about it before the series about how important the new ball will be for us and for the quicks. So I think we've done that really well through the 3 innings that we've played. We've taken early wickets, and obviously they've built up a couple of partnerships in the second innings of the first test and throughout today. So I think we've got to be a little bit better through that period where it's not swing either way. They got away, I think, again from us a little bit. They took the game on and came away with a few runs. So I think we can get a little bit better there, but I think, as I said before, we were pretty good today with the ball on a pretty lifeless wicket for quick bowlers anyway.
Yeah, Mitchell, you seem to cramp the fingers your left half at one stage. Was there any sort of problem there?
No, just cramping. Yeah.
Mitch, how did you think that the 2 spinners went, and how do you think they'll go later in the match? Can you just talk about, Dutchie is regarded as a bit of a practical joker or pretty casual? I wonder how he responded getting his first wicket with a full toss.
Yeah, I think he's been pretty quiet throughout the day, obviously being his first test, but fantastic to see him get his first wicket in his first test. I first one can sometimes be the hardest one to get. So fantastic for him, and I think that'll just relax him a little bit, especially for that second innings. So I think he did a pretty good job on test debut. Nath obviously knows his ground better than the rest of the bowlers in our group anyway. But yeah, I think he'll come out and be better for the second innings as well. Yeah, overall I think as a bowling unit, I think we were pretty good today. As I said, on a pretty flat wicket. There was no pace in it as well. A couple of partnerships where the Sri Lankans batted really nicely. So as I said, we've got to be better through that period where it's not doing much. Maybe dry up a few runs as well and not let them get away as quickly as they did today.
Congrats on 100 test wickets today as well.
Thanks.
You obviously had a long period where you were in and out of the side a lot, and then looked like you were getting consistently in the side you had injury. Do you think really now, both physically and technically, you're able to be a consistent and dominant test match bowler?
Physically, yeah. I think that little 6 month or the 6 month break I had with my ankle, my foot, was really good for me to get some really good time in the gym and build up that strength that I lost probably throughout the Ashes series and the one day series there. So I've been really happy with where my body's at physically leading into the Tri series in the West Indies and obviously this Test series. So I think I'm starting to get that consistency back in Test cricket anyway. Building up through that Tri series in the West Indies, and then after the first Test, definitely wasn't the best I bowled in the first Test, but started to get a bit of rhythm back through there. So I was pretty happy with how that came out today, and I think Joshy and I really enjoyed bowling with each other and in partnerships there. And look, he can hit a spot, and he's a genius at that, and allows me to bowl as fast as I can and as aggressive I can from the other end. So I think we work really well together there. So it's nice to be back and hopefully be around for a lot longer than I have in the past probably.
Just one on the Staker coming in as the assistant as the assistant coach after this. Have you guys spoken to him at all yet? Or
Yeah, I've spoken to him through emails. I haven't worked with Dave before. I've heard good things about. Obviously, he's had some time in England, and speaking to a few of the Victorians on the Tri Series tour. I've only heard good things, so I'm excited to work with him later on. But at the moment, it's working alongside Alan Donald in this series to hopefully win this Test and then go over to Colombo and try and win a series. So, look, we've always got great guys around us, whether it be Craig McDermott in the past, Alan Donald here, David Saker coming up. So I think it's really good for the bowling group, and obviously to have a guy now locked in for the next 3 years. I think having that one guy there to work with us moving forward, I think is really good for a young group.
Mitch, you and Josh bowled really well together your first spell, then you both came off quite early. Was that a pre-existing plan, or would you have liked to roll on a couple more overs?
I bowled 6 in a row, so yeah, look, it's up to Smithy. See it's how he sees the game, and there might be times where Joshy bowls a bit longer. You might want to try and bring a spinner on earlier over here. It's up to him. So we just get ourselves ready to go if we need to bowl long periods or not.
It wasn't a particular strategy to get you guys back in the sort of 20 odd overs?
No idea, to be honest. Just bowl when I'm told.
Thank you.
Cheers.